Well, good morning, sports fans. A beautiful Saturday morning that we have here on tap for us today, Saturday, June 12th, 2010. You're listening to the Cheap Seats on Lincoln Country 96.3 WLCN. I am Cameron Kurtz, and sitting to my right, as always, Mr. Josh Komnick. Josh, how are you this morning?
Yeah, doing good, Cameron. It is a nice morning here on the. We're right here at Logan Lanes this morning, and we've got the Route 66 garage sales going on. There's tons of people out in town. Get out here this morning and run by us and give us a honk or something like that, and we'll be here all from 9 to 10. So it's going to be hot this afternoon. So get out and get your garage selling done this morning.
Josh, we're going to jump into college football, a story that is taking the sports world by storm. University of Nebraska now makes the transition out of the Big 12 and now decides to join the Big 10 Conference, which, if my math holds me correct, that means there are now 12 teams in the Big 10 Conference. It's an interesting story, probably because what this will mean to the Big Ten by adding another team. It'll strengthen rivalries in the sport of football, with Nebraska being a national contender in football year in and year out. Also, another team from the Big 12 Conference that was making a little bit of a splash this week was Colorado. They're now off to the Pac-10 Conference. So does this, Josh, what's kind of your thoughts on this? Are we seeing the Big 12 Conference? Is this like a breakup? Are we seeing the conference, slowly diminish down to where there aren't going to be that many teams left?
Right. Before I go on, listeners, if you have any thoughts or any comments on this topic, it is a big topic, like you said, Cameron. 648-5510. We want to hear what you think. But my feeling is why? Why now? Why at all? Because I didn't know anything was wrong with the Big 12. It's one of the power conferences in all of sports, not just football. They're tough in basketball. They're exceptionally tough in baseball. Why do these guys want to get up and travel even farther? I think Nebraska would lengthen their travel going all the way to Penn State or something like that. But why now and why at all? I don't know if there's money issues with this and that kind of thing. But now I hear Texas Tech, I believe Texas A&M are all looking at maybe possibly moving with Colorado and going to the Pac-10, adding 3 more teams.
That'd give them, 15, 16 teams?
They're going to call it the Pac-16. So I don't understand why all this is happening now.
How ridiculous would that be when you've got some conferences that have 9, 10 teams, and then you've just got one conference that has 16 teams? That just, it kind of, it doesn't really seem that fair.
Yeah, I can understand if you're a powerhouse school such as like a Texas, and you're in a conference like the Big West or Mountain West or Big Sky or something that you dominate every year, and you want to get up to one of those elite conferences. I can understand that, but
tougher competition.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if their reasoning behind this is to play tougher competition, or if it has if it's a monetary issue.
It's got to be money issue. It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean I agree with you there. It's got to be money. But really, probably what's most interesting about it, what does this mean to the University of Illinois? And Illini fans, chime in on this. 648-5510. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Mizzou, University of Missouri at Columbia. They're still waiting for their, formal invitation, if you want to call it that, to the Big Ten. So that would take another team out of the Big 12 Conference, should that happen. Missouri they mentioned something, about 2 years ago about coming over to the Big Ten. Then they kind of, they were on that story for a couple of months, then they kind of dropped it. You didn't hear a whole lot about it. And now recently, within about the last month or so, you're starting to hear more about it. You're starting to hear more information about it. So
well, now too with the Big Ten, do they now break that up into a 2-league conference? Do you have an East where it's split down?
Like an East and a West?
Yes, split down from Columbus going west. Is there 6 teams there? And then also on the east side, is there 6 teams there now that you can break up, kind of like the Big 12 did, or at least the SEC does too. They break those up into 2, and, you have your own thing, and then you vie for a championship later on at the end of the year. But now with the Big 12 or Big 10 having 12 teams, it could be a possibility of that happening now with more teams coming in.
And like we've mentioned, this is going to affect all sports. It's not going to affect, just necessarily football or just basketball. It's going to affect every sport, and it's going to affect both schools, the institutions themselves. Think about, how much they're going to gain and then how much they're going to lose, both, financially and then also, moral support. It could turn, a lot of fans away if you've got a team that, kind of gets out of the conference. If you've got, a spectator or a fan who, just enjoys watching all the teams in a particular conference. Let's say you just, you like all the teams in the Big Ten Conference, or you like all the teams in, the Missouri Valley Conference or something, and you really don't have your specific team, it kind of makes a little something about that. Josh, but before we kind of get ahead of ourselves, I promised the listeners that we would have a trivia question, and we've got some fabulous prizes to give away.
And you don't have any easy ones today. The book of trivia questions really came out. You dug deep this week.
Yeah,
I don't know. We got to have some listeners that are on top of their game this morning.
Yeah, you're going to have to know your stuff, but it's all in fun. And if you are the correct, you do have the correct answer for it, go ahead and give us a call, 648-5510. Here is the fabulous prize that you're going to pick up. You are going to pick up 2 free tickets to Knights Action Park.
Beautiful day for that.
Oh yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be a great day to to go and kind of get out of the sun a little bit?
Yeah, Cameron, that's an excellent day to do that. That's a $60 value. So
$60 value.
If you've got the right answer to Cameron's one of his tough trivia questions today, give us a call, 648-5510. You can head down to maybe Knights Action tomorrow.
And then on top of that, Josh, I'm going to go ahead and throw in 4 free games of bowling to Logan Lanes.
Nice.
So 4 free games of bowling to Logan Lanes, and then also 2 free tickets to Knights Action Park in Springfield. Here is the question. If you have the correct answer, phone in 648-5510. Here is today's question. It's a football-related question going to the NFL, and it's a 2-parter. You need to name the youngest and oldest head coaches to win a Super Bowl. Okay, I'm looking for who were the youngest and oldest head coaches in the NFL to win a Super Bowl. So you gotta have both of them right to get that in. So call 648-5510, and Josh will get off that for just a minute and continue on with this everything that's been going on and kind of keeping in the college world a little bit closer to home. University of Illinois, they're starting to hold workouts and beginning kind of a couple of summer league programs to get the players conditioned and ready to go for the season. Coach Bruce Weber has met with players, and they've had team meetings and everything. And something that is kind of interesting, we may see a local kid here go to U of I in the next couple of years. By local, a player that all of us will get to see quite a bit here in the next 4 years is Lanphier freshman Larry Austin. He's at the top of the prospect list for Bruce Weber. He's only a freshman this year, and I got the chance to watch him play the other night, Wednesday night actually, out at the high school here in Lincoln. They've got those summer league programs,
sure.
and games going on, Tuesday and Thursday nights and everything. So I was able to watch him, and I enjoyed watching him play. He's a pretty good shooter and pretty athletic, and I think it'll be neat to see how Lincoln stacks up against him. Of course, Lincoln coming off that great season that they had last year, and they're probably going to be just as strong, if not better, this year. You hope, and it would be nice to see how all that plays out and everything, and also kind of keeping with college basketball a little bit, a story that is becoming a little bit more popular, growing even more popular each and every day. Tom Izzo, the longtime coach at Michigan State University, is he going to leave, or is he going to stay? We'll talk about that once we come back from our commercial break. We're going to go ahead and step aside just for a minute. You're listening to the Cheap Seats on 96.3.